May profits be upon you. Happy 2023. This is my first videos for the year, and it's happening after NFP in February. So January was one of those months where you could have made money. There was plenty of opportunity to make money, and for those that are in some in the chat room that I'm in, I post in, you saw that I was still posting some analysis and stuff, but I wasn't doing any hardcore trading. But hey, I'm about to pick it up a little bit, just a little bit, because I'm very busy with my day, so I can't do as many day trades as I'd like. So a lot of my analysis is going to be based on swing trades and bias in determination. I want to make sure that those that follow me and follow my analysis are getting the direction, all right, and where the best places are to get into trades that you can hold for a minute. You know what I mean? For longer than 15 minutes to an hour or whatever. If you want to do day trades, I'm going to, give you some direction with it. But I want to make sure with my YouTube analysis that you get direction, bias. You want to get the best places to look for entries, right? Okay. So today, I'm going to make sure that you see a list of FX pairs that I think are going to be strong contenders. I'm going to go over some analysis with U.S. oil, the S&P 500, and gold and silver. How about that? All right. And this is for the week that is approaching February 6th to the 10th. All right. And what I'd like to mention is that and as far as news coming next week, Tuesday, we have the Reserve Bank of Australia getting ready to come with a interest rate decision. I want you to be very careful with your Aussie pairs. Wait until after Tuesday's news. That's all I'm saying. Wait till after Tuesday's news, because you may see some dithering with the Aussie pairs, all right, as price is kind of going to range a bit before the news. That's what you usually see. All right. If you see it heading spiking down just before the news, it's probably going to go the opposite way when the news hits, and vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, let's take a look at what we have on tap. Let's start with the Dixie. All right. And if we go to the Dixie chart, what we're going to see on the daily is, well, yeah, actually, I want to show you something on the monthly. On the monthly, what do we have? I want you to make note of these breakout points. This breakout point is a major breakout point from 2017. All right, February 2017. From here, price swept the liquidity from here, from the tops here. All right, we broke market structure to the upside, and then we broke market structure to the downside. All right, and this was a great low, a great push to the downside. Price rebounded, came back up, failed to make a new high, and this becomes a high that we want to keep in mind. All right, this was done on March 20th, and this is the start of the COVID woes, and you can see that price these are the COVID lows made in January of 2021. All right, now look, what I want you to see is that price hit this demand zone here. All right, and gave us a nice double bottom, and you can see what happened after that. All right, lots of stimulus and all kind of good stuff, and the rate hikes and whatnot. The stimulus actually took place here. As the economy started to get ground down. They were adding stimulus and whatnot, and then the Fed started with the rate hikes, all right, and rapid succession, and price went up. Okay, so what do we have? What do we have here? We have a break of market structure to the upside, right? And we are pulling back. Does this mean that the uptrend is over? This pullback? No, it doesn't. But a lot of people are thinking that, hey, price is just going to head lower. No, 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 no. Don't you think that? This is the range of price. All right. We broke the previous range here, the highs and lows of the previous range. Look at that. All right. Once we had this breakout here, all right, this is a major breakout. That's why I have that there. You're looking for price to continue higher. Of course, price is going to pull back. And this was quite the pullback, wasn't it? And we saw the S&P, the Dow and the NASDAQ heading up as this was heading down. All right. But here we are. We are in, this is probably about a 50% pullback now. All right. And what do I always say? For those that follow my channel and are with me in the chat, will know that I always look for that pullback into discount and premium price. All right. If this is the trading range and we pull back, I'm looking for price to pull back here because this is where I want to take buys in this area. This is the equilibrium, the 50% mark. All right. This is the premium pricing. All right. This is where you want to take your shorts. This is where you want to take your longs. All right. When price hits that 50%, that's when I start to look for long opportunities. So we're looking at this on a monthly basis, right? Each candle on this one is in the time frame of the monthly, right? And you can see that after this spike to the upside, all right, this lovely rally to the upside, all right, this is the odd colored candle, all right? And usually the odd colored candle is where you'll find demand or supply. And look what we got here. This is the monthly demand zone. Prices came down deep into it. But did we break this zone? Depends on how you look at it. All right. Depends on how you interpret it. All right. For me, I need to see a break and close below the low of this demand zone. Now, for some, this wick is enough to say this zone has been violated and it's no longer valid. For me, price didn't close past it. Yeah, we wicked down, but price didn't close past it. That means this zone is good, and this is a very bullish candle, and we could see price go up. And I want you to bear something in mind. Here we are, price breaks out of the major breakout levels, right? We break above, and here we come back to it. Oh man, what am I doing? I'm sorry. And we're coming back to it. Okay, we're coming back to it. And I'm looking for price to find support here. I am looking for price to find support here. And we'll see if it breaks the low of this previous candle. This is going to be on a monthly basis. If we get a monthly close below that low, we can see price coming down a little further. And we can talk about those lows here. This is the area that I would look for price to find support. But that is a long ways away. Okay. What I'm telling you now is this is a bullish candle and we are in demand. So let's go to the weekly. I didn't mean to stay on that so long. If you can see this with me, all right, you'll see that this is a very bullish candle and we broke market structure to the upside. All right, we're still in the extreme of the monthly demand zone, but this is the weekly look, right? And you can see how we broke the highs of the previous 2 weeks. All right, that is pretty doggone significant. Now, We're going down to the daily. And what is this telling us? The daily is telling us we have broken market structure to the upside. Very bullish close. Look at it. There's hardly any wick. Very bullish. Lots of momentum to the upside. So what am I looking at this week? I'm looking at finding where price will pull back to. We need price to stay above this level. All right. This is where we had our closes. This is where price comes back to and finds trouble, call it resistance. All right. And with all this resistance here, I'm looking for price to find support. Resistance, turn support here, right? We are in daily demand. We are in weekly and monthly demand. I'm looking for price to continue higher, all right, at least up to here, okay? And I'm looking for price to, if I can just get it right, I'm looking for price to get past this monthly breakout. I mean, this 2017 breakout level, okay? So if we stay above this level here, which is at 102.50, I'm looking for price to maybe wick past, I'm looking for price to wick past here, maybe wick past here, but I want it to close above that line. And if the price pulls back, this is going to be a great time to look for longs in USD, JPY, all right, the yen, USD yen or USD CAD. I'm looking for shorts and pound USD, Euro USD, Aussie USD, and NZDUSD. Okay, so this I'm looking for strength this week and quite possibly into next week, the following week, in the Dixie, the US dollar. Okay, and maybe if we get this pullback here, maybe it wicks down to this level and then we continue up higher. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's move on. We're gonna look at I'm gonna look at specs, and I'm gonna look at specs and gold and silver and crude oil after. All right, now first thing I want to do right now is look at EURUSD. All right, let's go to USD. We're looking at the daily time frame. We have a major breakout level. Let me use this thing. All right, we have a major breakout level here. Why is it a major breakout level? All right, let's go to the let's see. Go to the weekly. All right. What you can see is that in this bearish leg of structure here, you can see how deliberate this move is past the COVID low over here from March 2020. Yeah. All right. And this is March 2020. Price failed to make a new high, double topped, broke that structure, broke that low. Look at this low here, 2016, right? We're doing just the opposite of what the dollar does here. All right, the Euro USD is the inverse of the Dixie. All right. So what do we see now? We're at supply. We're at a weekly supply zone. Price is reacting very bearishly from that weekly supply. Doesn't mean it's going to hold, but it's we're looking at the response here, the reaction. Okay, and what does that mean coming forward? Let me clear that for a second. There you go. Let me see, clear. There you go. All right, and if I can just get this thing right. All right. So what do I want to see? What do I want to see is I'm bearish in this market. I'm definitely bearish in this market. Look at this on a weekly closing basis. Look at that candle close. Look at that reaction. All right. I want you to take a closer look at this on the daily. On the daily, we can see the reaction from look at that Friday. That was last Friday. That's a very bearish candle. All right. And we're coming to a very nice area of where price had found support, right? This was the major breakout level here, right? We can see on this is in May. All right. This was in May. We see the response there, the reaction to this same level. All right, at what is it? 1.0782. We see it acting as support in these areas. All right. If we come over here, we can see it support acting as support here, and we see the same kind of reaction. This is a very powerful key level. All right. So I want you to make note of it. What am I expecting? I'm expecting price to have a reaction to the zone. All right. I also want you to pay attention to something. There's a trend line here. This is a daily trend line. Price has found support here and then support here. All right. We can see that price has closed Friday below this trend line. It's a good indication that price is turning bearish. All right. What do I want to see? The exact opposite I want to see in the Dixie. See this little dotted line here? I want you to see that on the weekly. All right. Right around this level. Right around this level. If we get a little closer in, we can see that this is my change of character level. All right, here. All right, you see how price reacted here? It couldn't close past this level. It tapped it here again. It tapped it here again as resistance, and then support again. And then we finally bullied past it with the NFP news that came out last Friday. Okay, so what am I looking at? I'm looking at confluence. So if we get a pullback, I'm looking for that pullback to happen right around it, the same level, 1.08500, right around this level. Is that right? Let me make sure. 108.4. I got it as 1.0846, but the whole number I'm looking at is 1.08500. Okay. Magical things happen around those whole numbers. I'll explain this some other time. But at the 50s and the double zeros, that's where you want to catch stuff. All right. So if we get the pullback here, all right, I'm expecting that pullback to come up around here, maybe to retest this trend line here. All right. Price will come up, maybe wick up this high, pat maybe once or twice, and then start falling. All right. This is the area that I would be looking for, right around that red line at 1.0846 or 1.0850. Right around that area, I'm looking for price to I'm looking for an entry for a short. Okay. Can we get that? Price is reacting very nicely to this weekly supply zone. All right. Boom. Came here. And we have a bearish engulfer. We got two candles that engulf five others, the ones prior, and breaking market structure to the downside, breaking that low here. All right, where the trend line is based. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's move on. I'm going to the pound. Pound is a strong one. I'm telling you right now, look for pound shorts this week. All right, with the ECB and decision last week, and the pound in. I mean, the UK is on the fast track to recession, and things are looking pretty bad, and there's not a lot of upside. So what we want to track is this weekly supply zone that we find ourselves in. Let's take a quick look at the weekly. All right, you can see how price has been very bearish. All right, here we go. These are the COVID lows. Right? COVID lows before the stimulus comes in and all that good stuff, trying to support everything, and price becomes bearish, just like the euro. And we did see some a great pullback, all right? But just understand, this is not a reversal, folks. This is a pullback. All right. And until we break significant levels like this one here, all right, and then pull back, that's when we can call this a reversal. All right. But right now, after you break market structure like we did here, all right, this is the top and bottom of the trading range. And we're just now getting back to the 50%. All right. We're just now getting back to 50% of that trading range. And I already just explained to you, well, how do I look at that? How I look at that 50%. Look, that's a good call. So what we're looking for is price to turn over. All right. And I'm looking for price to start to come back down, probably to that level there around 1.1500. Okay. Now let me go back to the daily. There we go. All right. So you can see this double top, excuse me. Price swept liquidity before it did anything. It swept liquidity. All right. For an explanation of that, check out my my other vids. All right. You want to check that. You want to definitely learn about liquidity sweeps because you don't want to be part of it. You don't want to be the liquidity if you don't know where the liquidity is, right? But I want you to make note, we did not mitigate this zone. We did not mitigate the supply zone. Now, some people are going to mark their zones from here, all right? And I think that might be totally legitimate, all right? But I'm marking it from the weekly, all right? And in the weekly, I have the extreme here, right? This bearish candle, I mean, the last up candle before the down move starts, and you see how it comes up and then shoots down. I like this. I like this zone, but we never reached it. We never mitigated this supply. So why do I mention it? Because there is a chance that price wants to come up and mitigate before it breaks that low. If it breaks this low beforehand, that's it. It's not coming back up here, in my opinion. It's just not going to happen. It's going to pull back, and then it's going to continue down. Okay, what am I looking at this line for? Because there is a change of character line here, right? That indicates an early warning sign that price is changing direction. All right, but this one is a light one for me because of this consolidation. All right, it's a light one, so I'm looking for a stronger indication. This one is a stronger one. All right, this is the last. Well, you got to watch my other videos to tell you what a change of character is. All right, it's not like a break of market structure. It's very similar. It's just done on a smaller basis. You're looking for the early sign that price in an uptrend is getting ready to change direction by a small break of market structure. You understand? That little thing there is what it'll tell us. And we had that. We had it happen Friday, right? Now, if it breaks this is a break of market structure, in my opinion. All right. All right, this is a technical high, new high, breaking that high. It was a sweep. That's why that X is there. All right, so I'm looking for price to come up into this area for a pullback, a bear flag, if you will. And then we're going to continue down. You understand? So look for this area to be hit. All right, if I can be more specific on the daily, a daily close, this is your area. Supply. This is a supply zone, right, y'all? All right, I said right, y'all. Okay, now I want you to also notice something too. You see this? These closes, and openings. All right, this is a trend line, and we are well below that trend line. We broke that trend line. All right, sometimes price likes to go back and retest that. Sometimes price likes to go back up and retest that trend line before it comes back down. All right, you might see a wick up. It might do it a couple of times. It might bear flag here and then come on down. But this is the area I'm looking for. Got it? I hope you do, because I think this is going to be a worthwhile one. All right. Look for any pullback as an opportunity to take a short. All right. But wait for your proper setup. All right. Let's go to the Aussie USD. Aussie USD. All right. The first thing I want to make note of is if we go to the weekly, I'm bearish on this one as well. Yeah, you hear me? I'm bearish on this one as well. All right. See this? Look at this mark. Now I could have put it at the top here. All right. You do what you want to do. All right. I'm putting it at the close. I'm putting it at the close. Here we are. All right. We're very close. We're inside of a weekly supply. Very close. And price has broken market structure. Let me see if I can use this again. We broke market structure here, right? So we're bearish here, right? And then we see this V-shaped recovery, taking this high. All right, we sweep that high here. That is significant, significant. All right, but we didn't get a break and close below it. We got a mitigation of the higher time frame supply. All right, so at price, you see how what it formed there, a bearish engulfer. Right, that's a very bearish candlestick pattern. All right, this is a weekly. So I am bearish. All right, I'm looking for price to pull back and then we come back down. Let's look at it on a daily. All right, on the daily, what do we see? We see this trend line. From here, we have touches here, multiple touches here, and then we come up here. You see that price is broken below that. All right, you can mark your trend lines differently if you want to, but these are liquidity trend lines for me. All right, insofar as people who take buys on based on trend lines, all right, can get swept as liquidity. All right, because market makers know what you're doing and where you're taking your buys and where your stop losses are, and they know they put your stop losses over here. That's why you see these wicks come past that line. All right, I'm very careful of these things. I'm watching how it responds here, and I'm looking to use these trend lines as for confluences. You understand? I'm trying to build confluences. I want to see what else is in the favor of shorts. Well, we broke below that trend line, right? We have a break and close, a candle body break and close below that trend line. We also have a demand zone here that I'm looking for price to respond to. This is a daily demand zone. This is a weekly supply zone. This is stronger. All right, stronger than that daily zone. All right, so what I'm looking for is price to let me get this. All right, try it again. All right, I'm looking for price to react to this daily zone, come up here, maybe wick higher, and then violate this demand zone, and we see price come into this area here. All right, and we'll deal with it when it happens. All right, this is around 6,800. Okay, 0.6800. I love those whole numbers. All right, 00502080. If anybody recognizes those numbers, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know from whence it came. All right, but this area here is interesting to me because it was once acting as resistance, and then price had a little trouble getting past it, and then we came back and retested it as support. Here we come again, where there is a demand zone here. We are below the trend line. All right, we are closing below the trend line. I'm looking for price to come back up, maybe form a bear flag, and then we can come on back down. We can continue back down because this was a mitigation of it for a weekly supply zone, and I already showed you that downtrend. All right, so I'm bearish in this market. Now, I'm glad I remembered something. This is important. RBA interest rate decision, that's going to happen on the 6th. That's Tuesday, February. All right, be careful of it. Wait, before you jump into this thing, you wait until, be on the safe side and wait until after the interest rate decision, because they may tighten up. And have price come. Price might just blow past this and take out the trend line, take out this supply zone, everything. All right, or we can see this happen. All right, so look for some consolidation up here. Look for price to quite possibly bear flag, and then we can see price come on down. Okay. If you're not clear on things, you ask questions in the comment section. And hey, do not forget to hit that like button. Hey, wait, let me give you my little reminder. Let me give you my little reminder here. There it is. Hit that like button. All right, hit in all of its glory. Hit the like button. All right, that's all I wanted to do. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go to the New Zealand dollar. Now, New Zealand dollar is situated pretty similarly to Aussie dollar. You see the trend line going down. All right, this is a trend line that started in 2021, then 2022 April, right, and now here we are in February. Okay. And we are responding very bearishly to a weekly supply zone the same way. This is a legitimate supply zone because it's swept liquidity before when it was made. It was tested here, and then we tested here. But we are now testing the middle of this supply zone. And if you don't know, the supply and demand zones, right around the middle, those are the areas where you say once it passes that middle, that it's probably likely that the zone will fail. All right. So we'll see. You'll see it as you go. All right. So what am I looking at? Price is right above this demand zone, right? This is a legitimate demand zone. It was the low before this technical new high was made. I say technical because we don't have a candle body break and close above that high. We have wick high, which is just taking liquidity from those highs, right? So when I don't see a break and close in one direction, then I'm looking at the other direction for the break and close. You understand? If we don't take out that high convincingly and price indicates that it wants to go higher, all right, it's likely that it may want to go lower. Now, we can also, the other thing is, the other side of it is, we can also respect this low and just consolidate, all right, and start turning out into a triangle pattern. All right, so we want to be careful of that. All right, so what am I looking for here? I'm looking for price to do what it does. All right, I'm looking for price to find this demand zone here. All right, come down and then bear flag up, maybe to right around here, and then continue bearishly. All right, I do believe again that the US dollar, excuse me, will be bullish this week. So I am definitely looking for a good way to get in this trade for a short. Now, a good area to get into this zone for a short. Now, this trade for a short. Now, listen, the deal is you don't want to just jump in shorts from here, all right? Because price could, like I said, turn around and it may want to take out these highs. It may want to take out this the supply zone. It may take out this short. You don't want let it breathe. All right. We had an impulse. You wait for the correction. You wait for correction, and then this is where you get in up here. Okay. Got it? You look for confirmation entries on your lower time frames, like the 15 minute, the 1 hour, the 15 minute. All right. You wait for price to come up here, and you're waiting for one pattern: a high, a higher high, a break of this low, and then the pullback above that. In this leg of structure, you'll find a demand or supply zone, in this case, a supply zone. All right. And that's where you want to take your short. All right. This might be your supply zone. This is where you want to take your short. You understand? That's it. Just gave you the keys to the city. All right. We're moving on. Let's go to the US dollar CAD. All right, US dollar CAD is a very interesting one. Let's go to the weekly. All right. I want you to notice this. Up, 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 right? This diagonal line of resistance is kind of interesting. I'm not a support and resistance trader, but there are certain things that you just don't ignore. You know, when you see this kind of stuff, why is it having problems with that line there? Why? Why here? Why here? Why here? Why all this rejection here? And it's nice, clean line. This is clean price action. This is on the weekly. All right. Then we finally get a breakout. Boom. Leaves behind a very nice demand zone. Right. What I want you to see is price came back to the breakout area, which price does. All right. Failed to make a new high. Came back down. Didn't break below that low yet. What we have here is a triangle, and it's pushing price to make a decision. It's decision time. All right. When you see this kind of stuff, you want to see price get narrower, 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 and look for the breakout, either direction. You understand? That's decision time. That's what triangle patterns do, wedge patterns do. Okay. Start doing that stuff. You gotta look at what is obvious in front of you. All right. Now, let's remember that we have a weekly demand zone here. All right. And price has to meet that. It has to touch that. Let me see something. Let me clear that. Thank you. All right. I'm going to go to the daily, and we're going to see something a little more clearly. All right. One, we haven't come back to this weekly demand zone. We haven't touched it yet. All right. Two, here's the wedge. Here's the wedge. All right. Here's the pattern. All right. And let me use this. What I want you to see is this a little clearly. You see that how bullish this is? This was Friday's candle. All right. Very bullish. All right. This is not easy to see as far as, you know, is price just going to keep taking off from here, or is it going to pull back? I'm looking for the support, a line for each week. I'm looking for where price won't go past again. It broke past someplace. I want to make sure it doesn't go back, doesn't come back into consolidation, right? I'm looking for that line, that level. So let me see if I can see it on the 4 hour. All right. You see, I got these lines here. This is a supply zone here. Very clean. You see how price drops from here? All right. We haven't made it back up. We tried, haven't made it back up yet. Price is not finding any momentum to the downside. It goes lower, it goes lower, it goes lower, but it's not impulsing to the downside like boom, boom. It's grinding down. And when you see that, that's usually indicating that price is about to turn around to the other side. All right. So what am I looking at over here? If I can get rid of, I don't know what the thought was over here, but what I'm going to look for is price to return right here, right where this little green line is. I'm looking for price to come back here. I'm looking for price to come back to this demand zone. You can see that demand zone a little more clearly on the daily. How did you get there? All right. You can see it here, right? Boom. All right. This is where I'm looking at for demand right here. And I'm thinking that price is going to come back to that demand zone and pop up. I really am. So this is where I'm going to look. You're going to be very careful with this. All right. Because it may not. It may want to grind down some more. It may break that little low and come down and finally mitigate this zone, which I think there's a good chance of that happening. The only thing that keeps me like off from looking at calling this, hey, this is a good place to launch a buy, is because prices, it's kind of that this price action isn't inviting. All right, and it looks a little, it's not clear. So when price is making these kind of patterns, this is a 4-hour that we're looking at now. All right, we have a major breakout level here. Look at this orange line. All right, I'm going back to the daily so you can see it clearly. All right, you see how price reacted each time it came around here. Support here, support, then it comes back up, resistance, support, comes back up. This is a very important line, apparently, right? So we got it here too. Support here and support here. Right? We got above that line. Is it time for price to take off from here? All right. So here we are. All right. Is price going to come down, mitigate this zone, and then take off? It's a very good chance of that happening. So what I want you to watch out for is don't be jumping in nothing. All right. Don't be all jumpy. If you're going to scalp it, trade down on a 15-minute and lower time frames, you're going to find plenty of opportunities. But you're also going to expose yourself quite a bit. All right. I'm saying be careful. All right. That's all. All right. Price could very well take this low and come and mitigate this zone and then pop up. All right. This could look like this wedge that price is in right now could look very much like this, like a fake out. It mitigates the demand zone here and then pops up. All right. So I want you to be careful. I want you to be careful with this. And if you don't get a 15-minute confirmation entry here, a 15-minute confirmation entry here that breaks that high, that breaks this high, this is where I would take I'll look for my confirmation entry here. If it breaks that low, wait for it down here. That's it. Wait for it at the demand zone. Simple. All right, we're moving on. US dollar JPY. I want you to see this. Let's check this out on a weekly. Do we have something on a weekly that I wanted you to see? No, it was the daily. All right, so on the daily, perfect descending channel, perfect. Just taps, and the levels that it is holding are perfect. These levels are all perfect. You can't get better than that. This is clean price action, folks. You understand? And when you see that, you have to play it. You have to play it that way. All right. So I'm going to get rid of these noise, get rid of that noise, and I'm going to show you something. All right. On the daily. All right. Here you see how price comes down, didn't close below that low. Tried to wick down, and came back up, and then finally fought through it, and then used it, came back to the same line as resistance. Support here, breakthrough, resistance within this channel, right? Price comes down. What do we find support at? At this demand zone. The demand, this is a reaction to that demand zone. All right. And then we see this very bullish movement. All right. This very bullish candle here with a very bullish close above all of this. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to pull back, just like I said earlier with the other ones. I'm looking for price to pull back. All right. Just like I said with USDCAD, just like I see the opposite on the opposite side with EURUSD, Pound USD, AUDUSD, and NZDUSD. What I want you to see is, will price stay above this area? All right, look at the number 130.67. All right, I want to see price stay above this. Yeah, we might see price come back and test this channel, which it tends to do after breaking a channel or breaking a trend line. It wants to come back and retest that trend line. All right, and then go up. All right, if price breaks below back into this, all right, we get a daily close back into the channel, then we'll see price probably take this low and head towards this support, the support line of the channel. All right, but I don't anticipate that with the fundamentals in play right now. I think I'm glad you stayed to this point so you can hear this. I think the NFP, the way those numbers, the way the job numbers just blew out all expectations, all right, is an indication that inflation is probably not ready to recede yet. It's probably going to require the Fed to continue hiking. All right, when the employment data has a huge impact when it comes to inflation. All right, huge impact. And if the market, the labor market is still tight, that means inflation rates will probably not. You won't see it coming down. You'll see it probably going up, and that's the, you know, we're just going to keep an eye on things, but this is one of the reasons why you're probably going to see the US dollar moving up. All right, so I'm looking for this price to come down here right at this level at 129.62. All right, and right around this area, if price can stay buoyed above these levels, just like that close indicates, wait for the pullback, wait for the pullback, wait for a 15-minute confirmation entry. And what does that look like? Down, down, break, pullback. Here's your entry. You understand? That's it. All right. Where did that come from? Who put that down? All right. Let's go to the next one. Now we're going, that was the last of the FX pairs. Now we're going to S&P. All right. This won't, it won't go away. All right. All right. So with the S&P, what are we looking at? Guys, it's not easy. This one's not easy at all. All right. What do we, but I want you to see what makes it easy. Structure. Structure makes it easy. All right. Broad strokes here. Price broke that low, broke those highs, came up here, broke market structure to the downside. We are bearish. All right. We get a pullback. Fine. And then we break market structure to the downside again. This is the definition of a downtrend. All right. Lower lows, lower highs. All right. We broke the low, made a lower low, lower high, lower low. All right. What does price do? We break structure to the upside. You would think things are moving bullishly at this point, but no, price breaks and makes a lower low. Look at that. All right. Look at how it made this low, though. I want you to bear this in mind. All right. We got a nice little double bottom going here, and then it comes up, fails to make a new high just yet. All right. Pulls back, and then we sweep these highs. Now, I'm looking at those highs. That's very significant. All right. Why? Because what we have is a bearish, what we have is this high and this low. This is the leg of structure that we're working in. This is a bearish leg of structure. And what did I tell you? We divide it in 50, 50, all right? And this is premium, this is discount, all right? We want to take our longs from discount. We want to take our shorts from premium, all right? Price has made its way back into premium here, right? Back into premium price. And if you would have took that short at this demand, at this supply zone, you would have been doing pretty doggone good. And then price comes up short here and we take out that high, but we're still in premium price. Do I want to take a long from here? No, I'm not. Not without some confirmation. All right. And the confirmation here is here for me. All right. If you're looking at this on a swing trade basis, I want to see that broken and then the pullback. And that's when I want to get involved in longs. All right. I want to see supply being taken out first before I take shorts. I mean, before I take longs. And I want to see demand being broken, being taken out before I take shorts. Got it? That's the key. All right. So we're in demands. We're in daily supply right now. Price has already tapped it here, tapped it there. All right. It's been mitigated already. All right. Do I think it will hold? I have doubts to it. Once it's been mitigated, once price is already traded into the trading range of that supply, there's chances of holding price lessen with each mitigation. So this isn't the strongest supply zone for me, but we did see a sweep of this high here. So price could very well come on down here, but we're going to wait. I'm not jumping in shorts right here just based on it's mitigating a demand zone here. This isn't the best demand zone because it didn't sweep liquidity in order to create it. All right. So that's one of the criteria. I want to see a sweep of liquidity. All right. This one didn't come up high enough. So there's a chance that this will fail. All right. So as price, you see this Friday candle here on S&P. Notice that it didn't engulf the previous candles. So, there's some room for this to go up. All right. To the midpoint of this weekly supply. In this weekly supply, there's a chance that we might see price roll over. All right. We're going to watch this. All right. You don't want to take a short from here. You don't want to take a short from here because it's dangerous. All right. That's not a very bearish candle. And I want to see a daily closure below this line here. Why? This would be a change of character for me. Price comes down here. I'm looking for the pullback, and I can take that short from here. All right. For longs, I'm waiting for this demand to be taken out. All right. I want to see it taken out in price. Give me a 15-minute confirmation. If it takes out that high, that would be even more convincing. All right. And if it pulls back, I see a 15-minute confirmation here. That's when I would get involved in longs. But I don't think the longs are going to be the play for this week. I do not. All right. I think the shorts will be. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what the daily close is going to be right around Monday. Come Monday, I want to see what the daily close is. If we're down here and price pulls back, that's when I want to get involved, honestly. Okay. Look at that number. 4015. All right. I'm looking for price to come down here. All right. And we're going to see if we get confirmations to take long or to or a pullback to take short. This one you got to wait for. All right. You got to be patient on it. Let's look at gold. Gold, not so much. This one is very bearish. You see how the news affected it. All right. NFP just brought it down, and we are very close to mitigating this demand zone. This looks very close to one of the other ones that we went over already. I'm trying to remember which one it is. All right. But simply put, prices coming up into, if we look at it on a weekly basis, I have my eye on this DZ. All right. I got to pay attention to that. All right. So, you see that we have a line, a supply line, supply zone here weekly, supply zone here weekly, and each one is showing respect. And we had a very nice drop from that weekly zone of supply. All right. What is this? This is a demand zone, but is it a weekly or is it a daily? It looks like a daily to me, and it is a daily. The weekly is stronger. All right. We just got to keep that in mind. Now we have a weekly, a daily supply up on top here. If price pulls back up into that supply, this is going to be the ideal place to take a short. Wait for confirmation. Wait for a 15-minute confirmation up here. All right. And then enter short. That's what I would do. But you got to wait for confirmations, man. All right. Price is going to come down there. You can buy this to the sell. I think the sell is going to be the move, honestly. All right. So you can take the buy in the near term to the sell for the longer hold, because there's a lot of liquidity to come and get. Look at this line here. Why do I have that line there? Whenever you see that orange line, you want to look left and say, okay, well, price was using it as supply there until it finally broke through. Maybe it comes down here and gives us our TP from up here. All right, maybe it gives us our TP from up here. That's exactly what I would be thinking about. All right, you see how it used it as support here? I mean, a supply as a resistance here and as support here. Boom, boom, boom. Again, boom. All right. This is an important level of a key level, if you will. Okay. So that's my scenario. This one's pretty easy to see as far as I'm concerned. We have broken market structure to the downside. All right. Let's look for a pullback. And if the high holds, this is going to be an ideal place to take a short. Silver is the better one, in my opinion. Why? Look at all this consolidation. These are efforts to go higher, higher, higher. And finally, this one here, that one candle, that sweep. Oh, I went too far. All right. That one sweep took all the liquidity that was built up and it swept it. Swept all the people who had stop losses for people who took shorts, came back, got them in the profit, and then swept them out of their trades. All right. Don't be the liquidity. All right. So we've broken this market structure. We've broken these lows, all of these lows. All right. Broken all of that. And we're down to the extreme of a daily zone of demand. All right. This is, again, a major breakout level. Why is that? Let's take a look left. All right. You see how it was used as resistance there, as support here. This is a key level. Look at that. 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 Look at it. Look at it. All right. So what are we expecting? More downside. I'm expecting more downside. I believe this is a strong short. All right. I'm looking for price to come back up to this level right here. 23,144 or at or near. All right. Wouldn't hurt to look to pay attention between this area right here. All right, between the number I gave you, which is again why is it doing that? I want it. Okay. I'm talking about this low 23,144 and this one, which is at 22,880. All right. This area, wait for price to pull back up into here. All right. And wait for a confirmation trade, wait for a confirmation entry on the 15-minute, and then take your short. And I would suggest taking the TP here, and maybe we might see 21.6. All right. We might see 21.6, but this is the area that you want to take that short to, and make sure you get some TP here. Take your profit there. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, leave a comment in this comment section. You know, I don't mind answering questions. Guess what? We're at the last one. We're at oil. This is one of my favorite markets. Why? Very clean price action. Look at the daily. All right, I got one line here. You see that line? 82,198. You see that dotted line? Look at all of the, let me use a red. All right, look at all the support. It broke through. It came back. Zip as resistance. And then we broke through again. And then we come back down. Resistance. Support. Right? Then it comes back down. Here. Resistance. Why is this freaking 82,198 so doggone magical? All right. Why is it resist price? Because there are buyers and there are sellers there, man, at that price. And market makers know it. All right. So what are we expecting? All right. We've been bearish. Price came back, swept that high. All right. Didn't break and close above this high. Didn't break and close above it. All right. What did we end up doing? Failing to break and close above it to indicate that we want to go higher. All right. If it fails to give you the signal that it wants to go high, it's probably because it wants to go low. All right. So what am I looking at? We're going to take this low. We're about to take that low. This is a demand zone, right? That did not have a break and close above. All right. This makes it weak, a weak low. You understand? Because the only job of a low is to make a new high. All right. The only job of a high is to make a new low. You understand? All right. And when it fails to do so, it ends up being swept as liquidity. Now, this is the low we want to be careful of. All right. So price is coming down to that demand zone. All right. Not so much this daily demand zone, which is in right now. It's this one. All right. This is a chain, and we only have two chains here. All right. I'm looking at price hitting that zone right now. Very obviously, I want to see what price does. If we see price pull back, this may be an opportunity. This may be an opportunity, all right, to take a short, because this market is going lower, in my opinion. All right, we have a supply zone right here. All right, this is the extreme of a daily and a 4-hour zone. Let me show you on the 4-hour. All right, this is the extreme of a daily, and it's also a normal looking 4-hour zone. All right, you see this sweep of liquidity here? This is a legitimate supply zone. I'm waiting for price to come back up in. All right, see that red line? All right, I'm waiting for price to come back up in. I'm waiting for price to come back up in. And we'll look for an opportunity right around here for a short. All right, I don't like taking shorts into demand zones. All right, I do not. But if we get a break and close below this low, all right, it's taking out a supply zone here. All right, if it takes out a supply zone and it comes back up and takes the flip side, all right, we're talking about a demand to supply flip zone. All right, if it comes out and takes the flip side, I'm going to take it. I think this is going lower. I don't think if this fails, this is going to be attacked. And let me explain something to you. I think this is a weak low, just like this is a weak low. Why is this one weak? Because it failed to make a new high. Now, it made a technical new high. Sure, it did. But it didn't break that market structure. This is the high. You see how it comes down, pulls up? This is the high it needs to break. This one didn't break that high either. I think these are going to get swept, and I think we're coming down. And what do I think we're coming down to? Well, we go down to the daily. I like to go from supply to demand to the next opposing demand zone, and that demand zone is right here. Hello. Let me see if I can get it right. There you go, and right there, right here. All right, and this is going to be a minute off. All right, but you got to wait. But I believe if we get a pullback, once we take this low, we'll bring it down to the middle of this zone, and we'll see what it does from there. That's what I'm talking about. All right. I don't see it any differently. I just don't see it any differently. All right. This is a good zone. You see how price comes up, has a problem closing past this area, comes back on the other side, right in the same area, right here. Take it down to this zone, to this the zone I just marked here. All right, that weekly zone. I think we'll be just fine taking a TP right there, because I think price may turn around right around 70, $70 a barrel, right towards the middle of this zone. And that's it, folks. That's it. I'm not going to go over the Amazon, Best Buy, and Google. All right, I'll leave that for another time. If you have a request, you make sure you leave it in the comment section. If you want to see a market analyzed and what I might think about it, and how you might be right or how you might be wrong. I want some feedback on this video. All right. If you end up doing well from the analysis, I need you to let me know I'm doing something right. All right. I need you to let me know, would you please? I'd love to know that you are growing and you are advancing and you are moving ahead. All right, with your along your journey. All right, I like hearing from my subscribers. Period, and I always answer them. So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to that you stayed till the end. For those that did, and I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. May profits be upon you.